Turbo is non-negotiable in this one. Alright, so in this episode of
Retro Wednesdays,
we are taking a look at Karnov, and this one's sort of a revenge game for me because we played this last time, and we totally beat it, but then my computer decided to take a shit and lose all our audio, and I was super upset about it, and it's been gnawing at me ever since it happened, so I've been hell-bent on trying to beat this game on video as a Retro Wednesdays episode. It was one of the games that I grew up playing in my neighbor Jeremy's house in his basement, so even just looking at this, I can smell like musty basement smell right now.
Yep.
And like sweaty kids, which sounds really awkward.
I think musty basement goes hand in hand with this system.
Yeah, any games, like any old games, it just smells. Like if you've seen Atari, if it doesn't smell kind of like moldy, then it's not really, it doesn't count.
It's not a legit Atari.
Yeah, it's obviously been cleaned, so it's been doctored. And yeah. So you want to go first or you want me to go first?
I think you should go for it.
Okay.
I just want to point out that it looks like it says Karnov and it's written in corn chips.
I was going to say. With two guys belching heat over top of it.
My dad bought me these socks called heat lockers. They're for when you're sick. Keep the heat in.
That's a good idea. I used to do this weird thing when I would get sick and I would get ear infections, where I would do this thing where I call it baking my ear, where I would take my earlobe and I would like fold it in, and then I would lay on my ear all night so it would get super hot, and then it would like drain out.
What?
Yeah, you never.
Fuck.
I know, it's horrible.
I've never heard of baking your ear before. Ever.
No, this is like a total Sean original. So you heard it here first. It's gross as shit, but it worked, dude. I'm telling you, I would cure an earache in like one day. I'd be fine again.
I remember watching or reading something that said eventually your eardrum busts and then the ooze comes out and then you feel relief. So for children who get frequent earaches, they'll put I guess it's a stent in there, where it's almost like a tiny plug that just allows the juice to come out.
Yeah, the ish to drain back out.
Jesus, auto respawn.
Armpit mans. Those guys gross me out. I don't know why I'm getting these bombs, but whatever. So, in my fury over not getting this game captured on video for our ultimate victory, I actually read the plot line of this game, and basically what you see is what you get. Like, there's this evil dragon named Ryu that steals some magic crap from this village where Karnov used to live, and Karnov is a circus freak who can shoot fireballs.
Where is he from?
It's all like fantasy lands.
Okay. He looks European, that's why.
Yeah. Well, he's got that Russian name, too.
Nice.
You can duck that dude's shots, and if you line it up right, like I kind of did, not to brag, but if you line it up right, you can kill him just by backing him once, which is the easiest way to do it.
Once you get the fully powered up weapon, I mean, I don't want to say unstoppable, but
you're pretty much in really good shape, and then it's just a matter of like surviving the randomness. But the thing that's good, the one thing I've learned about playing this game, which I think is interesting, because, you know, let's be honest, it's a Data East game. They don't have, in my opinion, they don't have the best track record when it comes to like really good games. Like, I don't know that many really good ones that they've done.
Right.
But there's actually like a good amount of strategy in this. Like, certain enemies and stuff, like they only react, they react to you. So like if you don't do something to them, they just basically ignore you. Here's an interesting fact. When you shoot that gold dude, when you have three shots, two of your three shots will go through him. But if you have a one shot, it just hits him every time.
Huh.
See how the one in the middle is going through? Or hitting and the other ones aren't?
That.
Yeah. I find all kinds of weird shit.
You must have been really practicing this game, huh?
I practiced the living shit out of this game.
Well, I remember a couple years ago when I re-bought this game, I tried beating it and I couldn't get far, even with turbo.
Yeah, it's a weird game. It's very it's really fun. I enjoy it very much. I think it's a game that I think if you don't own for some reason, you should definitely get it because there's a lot of fun. It's just a fun game. Like, it just kind of works. But it is screwy. Like, certain things, like jumping sometimes. Like, I will swear that I press jump and it just doesn't record my shit.
I'm glad a lot of games in this era did that thing where every boss was the same person.
Yeah. This game definitely does not do that.
They didn't do that. I thought that was nice. Although, I mean, most of these bosses are pushovers, right? I mean,
yeah. This is the first BS part in this game. Because you can mess that up and not get that jump off.
If you don't shoot,
and you just fall. You have to jump you have to jump from the middle. Like, you can't press forward first. You just have to, like, jump basically straight up. Because when you fall, like, for example, if I just fall, I can't do anything right now other than go straight down. But if I jump, then I have control. So, like, you have to kind of jump and then use it to control your descent, so to speak. I have way too much free time in my hands.
So, I mean, this game, would you classify this as one of the games where if you maybe you're just starting out trying to complete games, that this is one of the better starting games to play around with?
Yes, very much so. I don't know what's up there, but I don't care. Actually, I think I go...
Because it's not that hard, but it's definitely enough of a challenge to be worth your time.
Yes, it's also interesting in that sometimes you can just get... I mean, it's not as random as like a, a holy diver, so to speak, but it is definitely... There's definitely some glitches and definitely some randomness, like... You'll go through and be flawless up to a certain point, and then you just get bad luck, like a boulder will bounce the wrong way, or something like that, and all of a sudden you're like, you just die out. So it teaches you that about randomness. It teaches you a little bit about random respawns. So this shield is one of the best power-ups in the game, and I never knew what it... Like, I knew what it did, but I didn't know, like, how good it was to have until I started fighting the bosses. I'm not going to use it right now, but the shield basically gives you 6 free hits. So if I have the shield on and I'm facing a guy that shoots at me, it'll just block 6 of his shots until it disappears.
There you go.
But as long as the trick is it works like a real shield. So like if you turn your back, like you go to back up, it won't protect you. But like on certain bosses towards the end, it's like the easiest way to kill them because you just sit there and just swing at it. You just shoot. You don't really have to do anything.
And I think you mentioned this earlier on in the game. You said turbo's a requirement.
Yes.
So, it's not... There's no, like, official stance, I guess, on whether turbo is cheating. I mean, I would say technically it is. But what were your... Like, what is your rationale for...
To me, like, cheating is a weird... I have weird stances on it. Like, I don't consider turbo necessarily cheating for a couple of reasons. One, because, a lot of arcades in Japan and other places have turbo built into the games anyway. And also, like, sometimes having turbo just means that you are cutting down on the potential for, like, bad inputs or bad input latency. Like, I know it's the Nintendo and it's a good system and everything. But I know for a fact there are certain times where I will press buttons and nothing happens. This game is actually one of those where I've had it where I will press jump and literally nothing happens, and I know I press jump, and I'm pressing as hard as I can, and my character just stands there. And if turbo can eliminate that to a certain extent, then I don't see how it's that big of a cheat.
Yeah, I'm sort of in the same boat as you, I think.
Like, it's not great, but it's not like the end of the world. Like, I've done... Like, I think I draw the line with Game Genie codes. I draw the line with, like, to be frank, like, I draw the line with emulators and save states in certain situations, but, like, I don't know, for some reason, it just doesn't bother me as much.
Yeah, I think
this is like the
it's sort of a test of your endurance of your finger, and that's not really what the game is intended to do, really.
Right. It's more about like, yeah, like I mean, there's certain times like, well, I can't remember what game it was that we were playing, where, I'm gonna be in trouble. I don't have a diving bell yet. Can I even go in here? Am I gonna die? See, here's like another glitch. Like, one of the items that you get is supposed to be a diving bell, and I don't see that I have it, but I guess it's not doing anything to mess me up. Oh, whatever. Stupid trains. I always kind of imagine Karnov being like really smelly.
Yeah, it looks...
Like he looks like he would be like, he smells like just sweat and like onions.
Yeah, it definitely does. I've seen this guy at the Berlin market anyway.
You guys want to buy a truck? I've also this level is also one of the levels where you can break the game. There's certain spots where you can climb up on these rocks, and one time I was playing it and I went to climb up the ladder and it just shifted me over into a wall, and that was it. I couldn't do anything. I just had to wait for the timer to run out.
Wow.
And I was super upset.
That's frustrating.
I hate this level too because of these like mermaid guys. They are really annoying because they shoot that arrow like immediately, and if you try to go around them, they drop it. They drop it straight down. They shoot in all 4 directions, so you can't. You just have to kill them. I knew that guy was gonna come back too. Ugh.
What's that boomerang?
That is like literally a boomerang. I've never found a use for it. I don't know if there's some secret like.
Oh, I think I used the item before.
Karnov Man 97 will comment on our. This is where I got stuck. Like it just shifted me into the wall. Oh fuck! I knew that was gonna happen. This is our ladder tactic from last time.
Nice.
You know, this game also is very courteous in that it will refill your health so when you beat a level, so now I'm back to being in color. This level I have trouble with sometimes. It's so goofy. Because these guys shoot now all of a sudden. What?
Hitbox.
This is not as I just have to
What's the mask to do?
That lets you see hidden things, so like if there's secrets anywhere and you happen to set them off. The other thing I noticed, which is cool, is when you turn blue, their bullets change type. Like they flash blue and red, which I think is interesting. It's like almost an assist. This part's really annoying.
I really wish they would have different music.
Yeah, the music is kind of disappointing. Like, it's good soundtrack, but the song over and over again is really boring.
What year did this come out? 87?
87, yeah.
That's
I think this
pretty
was
good for 87.
This was an arcade game, too, because I think Data East ported all their arcades, because they did RoboCop. I mean, even though RoboCop and the Nintendo game are, like, completely different.
They sure are.
They're like night and day. It's like not even remotely close. Because the arcade game is like decent and the Nintendo game is garbage.
This is that level we were stuck on for a while.
Yeah, I had real troubles in this one. Frick.
It's another ladder.
This is a
game.
Medusa one. You can't get free hits in here. This, for some reason, this boss is the boss where I have the most weird things where I feel like I jump and I don't.
Damn, dude.
That was good. This is the level. This is the level. This is the furthest level I ever got when I was a little kid, like in 5th. No, it was the level after this. I got one level further than when I was a little kid, and it's the level where you have to use the wings. And I was like, when we first played it, like we didn't know anything. Like we didn't have an instruction manual or anything, so. We didn't realize that you could like get wings in the level as you go. So we were always told that you had to like collect all these wings throughout the game, and if you didn't, you couldn't get past it. So like we would get there and we'd be like, oh no, we only have one pair of wings. We're never gonna beat it.
I don't even think I got this far when I was a kid. This is a game that reminds me of your house, by the way.
Oh really? There's a secret here somewhere where you can actually get in here. There it is. I'm bound and determined to beat this game. Yeah, this just reminds me of my friend Jeremy's house. I remember one time we played Trojan, Karnov, and Legend of Zelda for like 7 hours straight. And then we had dinner and his parents weren't home. And he didn't know what to make. So we made, see, like this dude won't shoot at me unless I shoot him first. So it's good to know that you don't have to panic around him. Because they take a billion hits. But, and our dinner was, tuna sandwiches and strawberry milk. And I got so sick afterwards.
Ew.
I was barfing for days after that.
What's that thing in the wall?
I don't know, it was some glitch. See, this game is glitchy. It's very weird, like, how the game, like, will just be... Like, every time I play this game, it's like my game experience is never exactly the same.
Like, how are you supposed to know that?
I know. Stupid dragon almost screwed me.
Ladder games.
And I don't know if I can hit this guy now. See, usually he never walks this close.
Can you jump off the top and then...
That's what I have to do. I was about to say, I was going to be super pissed if I lost my ladder.
Might not be a bad game idea to have a game where you can't jump but you have a ladder.
Yeah, it'd be kind of fun. Sort of Almana-esque.
Yeah. I find that I enjoy those kind of games a lot. Like, Bionic Commando I thought was very, very good. Almana, I love.
So this is the one where I use the shield. And it makes my life way easier. Plus you can get it back, which is nice. I think. Yeah. Because this guy is a pain in the ass, and the ladder really doesn't help. So much
Damn,
easier.
dude.
So much easier.
You're a fucking Karnov maniac.
KarnovStrats.net.
Do you own that domain?
I'm gonna get it. I usually get hit here because these fucking guys every fucking time. That thing looks so gross to me for some reason.
Those meat bats from Turtles.
God, those things are so gross. Wait. Sometimes the biggest problem with this game is the screen draw. Because it's like, the screen doesn't move fast enough for me to get shit done.
I sort of want to explore this level, but there's not really a whole lot of incentive to do that.
The one thing that is true about Karnov that I'm leaving out is there are so many secrets in this game. Like there are secrets.
What does it give you?
Like just extra items and stuff. I don't think there's an alternate ending. I don't know. I haven't met that many people that have beaten this. So I don't know. This part always makes me nervous. No, I cheated. Usually you just jump and pray. But you can select the item in time. You select your item by pressing left and right, which is annoying because sometimes you just get stuck in a weird spot.
Yeah, it's a weird selection system for sure. Another one? The same one?
Yeah, it's the only one that repeats.
Well, the dinosaur repeats.
Oh, that's right, yeah, there's two dinosaurs. There's two bosses of every one. I'm wrong. I'm a liar.
Holy shit, man.
Last level, baby. Maybe I'll apply for AG DQs.
I was watching a video about that.
I bet like there's like legit Karnov people that can beat this game in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, well, I watched a video on how AGDQ is like rigged and
Really?
It's like this whole thing. Like the guy who made it had control over it in the beginning, and it was like really cool because it was a small get together of speedrunners, and they donated to a charity. But then the national I mean, I'm not saying any of this is fact. This is just what the video said.
Right.
The National Cancer Foundation sponsored it and then started giving the guy who owned it a salary. And then they have to publish their tax report since they're a nonprofit. And like this YouTuber noticed that, like, hey, wait a minute, not all these donations are going to cancer. Some of them are going to the owners of the foundation and for salaries and stuff.
Right.
And then I heard they said that Twitch pays AGDQ money every time they stream.
Huh.
To like, you know, because it's like one of the biggest events.
Oh yeah.
And this year's AGDQ I was not thrilled with just because I didn't think they had a whole lot of stuff that I don't know. It's like I really look forward to it every time it's on, and even if it is like corrupt or whatever, it's still fun to watch. And I don't give a crap.
Right.
But
this is one of those controlled jumps you have to do. You have to jump and then kind of loop around like I did, because if not, you can't get to the next spot. There's still a good chance that I may mess this up. This is the only spot where I like do a screen clear on that guy because
can't
it's
just
such a
jump
pain
over
in the
him?
ass. You probably can, but it's just like not worth it to me. Like I'd rather just be safe and get like the whole goal of this level is to get through to sorry, my phone's going off. Is to get through to the last boss.
You got time,
with
buddy.
2 hits. Like that's the only thing that really matters in this level. Like having a 3-shot is cool, but you'll notice when I go to the boss, it goes back to 1, and it's more of like a single shot. Then it becomes a single shot, not a triple. So like going and hunting for things in this level is just like useless. So to me, it's like, I'll waste a screen clear because I need to get. My only goal is to get there with 2 hits. Because if you try to get here and you're blue, it gets real hectic. All right, here we go. Let's see if I can do this. See?
So he's invincible or no?
No. Like,
it reverted. That's crazy.
Yeah. Shit. That's when he's invincible. I didn't realize that until it was too late. I kept ripping on him, and I couldn't do anything, see? Your shots just go right through him. Wow. Shit.
Oh, man. The invincibility. Yo, asshole. Holy shit, dude. That was fucking awesome.
Good. Am I supposed to yell time or something?
Time. Yeah.
Nah.
That is fucking awesome, dude. Good job. You
fun.
did it 1 CC.
Yeah. I got hit 3 times.
That's awesome.
That's pretty good. That was my best run I've done. Thank God. See, and you know what the trick is? I know it's funny because sometimes when we talk, like, I notice when we do episodes, like, the episodes where I have the most fun are when we don't spend all the time talking about the game. And that's why I kept trying to come up with topics not about Karnov to talk about, because it distracts me, so I am not like, oh my god, don't fuck up. Because I know when I do that, I put all this pressure on myself of like, oh, I'm gonna, like, what was the one, G.I. Joe, when I was like, we're gonna totally destroy this game because we're this good, and I got into it and I got so frustrated that it wasn't instantaneously happening.
Yeah.
But to jump back to the AGDQ sort of thing, it's interesting that you bring that up, because that's actually a common thing with a lot of charities. Like, you find out that like your donation basically doesn't go anywhere near the charity of choice. Like, I know that when I was a public school teacher, one of the things we looked at doing was like a big fundraiser for the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation. But I ended up not getting my choir, I was a choir teacher, involved with it, because it had just happened that I just started reading all these news articles about people saying that their like tax returns were like showing them making like millions in profit, and the amount of money that actually was going to breast cancer research was like less than 1% of their donations. So I ended up backing out of it because I was like, I don't want to, like, what am I doing this for your advertising? Like, fuck that, that's not cool. But it's interesting. Like, I know I love watching video games and I love watching video game playthroughs, but for some reason I can never get into like AGDQ. For some reason I just never can get into it. Like, I'm super impressed, and I'm not saying it to like be like, oh, speedrunners, blah, blah, blah. But like, I don't know, for some reason whenever I watch a speedrun, I'm like, I don't know, like I just, it's almost like it's so fast that I can't enjoy the game that much. Like, I'm immensely impressed by the person who can take the time to get that good at a game. Like, I remember watching a guy do a speed run of Super Mario Sunshine, and it was like the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, he was just like, he's like, oh, I just go here and it does this and it does that. It's like, how do you know all this? Like, how do you learn this?
Yeah.
But I don't know, for some reason I've just never been like a speed run guy. Like, they're cool, they're so cool, but I don't know, for some reason I don't enjoy them as much as when I watch, like, when I watch someone, like, struggle through a game, like, when they finally beat the game after, like, 2 hours of watching it, like the first time we beat, Predator, like, that one is, like, my favorite video of all time, not because we beat Predator, but because it was such a fucking struggle to get there, where it was, like, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like ready to kill myself because the game is so aggravating, and we like had to shoot this stupid Predator head like 31 times or something fucking crazy, and it was like, oh my god,
counting down the fucking hits.
It's like just mashing the jump button over and over again, and like how my thumb, like your thumb is like sore, and you're just like, oh my god, I just don't care. Like, it's those kinds of videos I just enjoy more than someone that's just like I can, like, beating Castlevania in, like, 4 minutes or something. Like, it's impressive. It is. I mean, I feel bad. I hope I don't come across like I'm, like, pissing all over people that do it. I'm not, because it's an impressive skill. It's just something I don't enjoy watching. Yeah, it's just, I just can't consistently watch it. Like, I watch it when I'm trying to figure something out. Like, I watched, I've been trying to play Castlevania 3 to beat it, which I know, like, it's never going to happen because I'm just cursed when it comes to that game. But, like, I watched a guy speedrun it, and he beat it in, like, 8 minutes. And I'm like, I don't know, it just didn't seem fun. Like, you're just getting hit to get through levels, and, like, it doesn't matter. And I mean, it's an interesting way. It's a very different way of looking at the game, because I know that when I play video games, I tend to play very conservatively. So I'm like, oh, don't get hit. And those guys are like, no, just use half your health bar because it'll get you through faster. And I've used some of their stuff. Like, I know in the first Castlevania, there's a couple spots where I watched the guy like get hit by like a Medusa head, and it like flips him up to the next screen, so you skip a whole screen. And I've done that once in a while to like just get through it. But I don't know, for some reason I just can never. Every time AGDQ comes on, I just like forget about it, or I start to watch it and it's some RPG that I just don't feel like sitting through. And
yeah,
like, I don't know.
I think what you're getting at is the part that I don't like. They put a lot of RPGs in there that I don't like. It's like Super Metroid's cool, but I don't want to see 15 different runs of it.
Right.
And then when the game starts getting to the point where people are like going through walls and going out of the bounds of the map, and like if you fall through the floor at this exact spot, like you'll end up on
like
top.
it's
like
that
hey, stuff,
if you break the game,
not
you
interesting
can win.
to me. But when someone like goes through a game really efficiently without using excessive glitches,
right,
that is really interesting to me. And for whatever reason, maybe it's just the times that I tuned in are like Eastern time, like the time everyone else does. So obviously they're not going to put like, Miracle of Almana or whatever it is,
right,
on at that time. They're going to pick Pokemon, or they're going to pick, what I mean? They're going to pick the stuff I don't like.
Yeah, they just pick stuff that I'm not super into.
Yeah, or like Zelda, or like Majora Mask, or whatever. So maybe that's it, because I did actually go through the channel. They'll upload the videos,
right,
and saw a bunch of stuff where I was like, damn, I wish I would have seen that live. Like, that would have been really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, I don't know if it's a coincidence or what, but this year I watched it, it was fine, but it wasn't, I didn't have like that drive to watch like I did the last couple.
Right.
So
we did I mean, some of the ones I wish they would do that I think would be fun would be if they did like game speed run by committee, where you have like a team of people and it's like you got to trade off every level, so it makes it a little more challenging. Or like The one, it wasn't I always want to say angry AGDQ because I guess AVGN, but I remember I watched a video that somebody posted of, I don't know if it was at Too Many Games or one of the game conventions, where it was like James Rolfe and Mike Matei and Alpha Omega Sin and like 6 other guys, and there was one guy, I think it was the guy, if my memory serves me right, that did the speed run of Holy Diver. That was like, that one to me was like the most impressive thing, because that game is like ridiculous.
Oh, what's his name?
I can't remember his name. He's got glasses.
SRK something.
Yeah. Well, there was a whole bunch of them, and they were all sitting around their room together, basically trying to beat Jekyll and Hyde, like collectively. They were all making a concerted effort on how to figure out how to beat it, and that to me was like super interesting, because you had different people playing and different people trying different things to like get further along, and it was like you would see one of them do like pick a strategy that worked, and then all of a sudden like they would all start doing that because that's what got them through it. And it was interesting because, you know, that game in particular, because it's a game that like very few people have spent any time like really trying to beat, but also because there was like so many people trying to do it at the same time, like all sitting down. Like it was interesting to see their, like, how different all of their approaches were. Like I remember like watching like one guy who grabbed the control. I didn't catch who it was, but he was like, compared to everyone else, he was super aggressive. Like he was just like charging through stuff, and it was interesting because that strategy on the earlier levels like worked really well. And then there was like one dude who managed to get the game to glitch, where he was standing on top of a bomb, and when the bomb blew up, like he didn't take any damage. So for a while they were all trying to recreate that, because the thought was, oh, if you stand on the bomb, the blast radius goes out, so it doesn't go up onto you. And then like they figured out that wasn't true, that was actually just like a freak glitch and everything. And it was interesting to watch, like all these different people like trying different things. And I wish they would do stuff like that, like, and you could do that with so many like the bigger RPGs like Chrono Trigger. I mean, for crying out loud, that game has so many different variations to it that you could have 20 different people play it 20 different ways. And it would be cool to do some of that stuff. But anyway, we forgot final thoughts on Karnov.
Final thoughts. Well, I'll go since you played and I watched the whole time.
Sorry. I was so.
No, I mean, I think I'm glad we got to play through this again. And I'm glad I got to see you 1cc it. That's really impressive. And I think it's a pretty good game. It has its glitches. I think it's a little bit above average, and it's inexpensive still, and it's kind of silly. And I think if you see it, I mean, it's one of those games that everyone has at this point, so I don't even know if it's possible to not have it. But if you don't, I would pay $5, maybe even $10 for it.
Yeah, I already after this, I know I'm gonna go look and see like how much it would run for a CIV version, because usually when I find games I really like, I try to buy them in complete in box. But I can't imagine it being like super expensive, like $20-$25 maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a really fun game. It's a really good like you were talking about earlier. Like it's a really great beginner's game for someone who wants to like try to like really come back and try to beat Nintendo games and stuff like that. Like I think it's really great for that in the sense that it's really easy to figure out, it's really easy to play. There's nothing that's too like overtly frustrating and challenging once you get the hang of the game and you get used to like the hip. Like one of the things that I did spend some time on practicing, and I did practice this game. I can't sit here and be like, oh, I just like picked it up and one-shotted it. But your hitbox is a little bit bigger than you realize, and sometimes you do get caught with like weird little like funky glitches, like where enemies will just appear where you don't expect them to, or like you go to jump and like you don't jump and stuff like that. And it's a Data East game, so you kind of expect that a little bit, that it's a little bit glitchy. Like when you think about their other games like Bad Dudes, and that game is like so choppy. Like that's the thing about these games, like they're all choppy in some way.
This one's not too bad though.
This one is not. This one's the best one. But I mean, most of their games are very choppy and very
Bad
like.
Dudes is super duper choppy.
So it's RoboCop, really, when you think about it. Except for when you go up and down the stairs, it's the only time it's smooth. But like, it is really a fun game. I think it's. There's a lot of different ways to play it, which I think is fun. Like, you saw when when I was doing the T-Rex thing, we were using the ladder tactic, which you invented, where you get on the ladder and just shoot straight into his face. But some people like really emphasize the shield, or like. I remember I watched one video of a guy who tried to use wings on every boss, and he said it made it super easy because you could just get up in the corner and sort of like wail down on him. The last boss is actually the hardest boss fight, I think, and it's tricky. Like, I didn't say it at the time, but the one thing I learned really early on is I thought if I could hide in the corners of the screen, it would be easy. But no, like, if you go in the corner, I guarantee you that the dragon thing will come all the way out right into the corner, and that's where, like, it stops. So you're guaranteed to get hit at least once when you do that. But once you figure out, like, how to live with it, it's pretty easy. And yeah, it's definitely, if you don't have it, like, first off, like, if you're a Nintendo collector and you don't have this game, I don't know what you're doing, because it's like one of the most common games out there. And if you don't have it, it's totally worth picking up. We should do we have to buy a Neo Geo so we can do Karnov's Revenge.
It's a fighting game, though.
It is. It's Hag, too.
I have a Neo Geo.
We need to do, I was thinking about it, we need to do a fighting game season where we have Slav Murph as a guest commentator, and we go through all the fighting games, and he can whoop our ass, like, real bad at it. Except for Mortal Kombat 2. I think we got a legit shot in MK2.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Okay. I don't know, our Reptile game's strong.
Okay.
I still play. It's all about that ball thing where it flips him over. I love it.
Move. Yeah, that was such an awesome...
Anyway, so this is Karnov, and for Retro Wednesdays, until next time.